Good morning, y'all. Out here with Abilene. She didn't seem real happy to see me today. Kind of got a look from her. And so she just now decided she wanted to attach a little. Usually she kind of makes that request. And it didn't feel like this lovely attachment at all. So I'm just gonna detach around her just a tiny bit. There's a little breath from her. Cosmo, back. Hello. Hello. So really just asking her to really engage with touch. Yeah. Feeling a little tense around it today, I've noticed. So that's what I want to see, is she can lean into it a little. And say, yeah, I'd like some of that. Yeah. What about as we go all the way back here? Back here. What about as we go down that leg a little bit? What about as we go down that leg? Really? Yeah. Oh, I know there's a spot. Where is it? Right under here. Is that what you're telling me? There's a spot right under here. Where is it? Is that it? Is that the spot? Huh? Is that the spot? Oh, it is. Is that the spot? What about this? Is this the spot? Where was too far? Down here? That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That hug. Little hug. Bet I come over here. So as you get up here on my neck, on this side, it gets a little less comfortable. Just see her kind of pulling away, head going up just a little. There. Back here. Right if we really cross that midline. Yeah, good. Down here you say? Down here you say? Yeah. Okay. So you're paying attention. I know you're asking for that. What about if we go down the leg a little? Oh. It says right there at the shoulder, it starts getting too uncomfortable. So right there. So I thought about moving and you stopped, so I'm going to stay here. Just look at the tension she's holding in her face, in her ears, in her eyes, in her mouth. So I'm just holding here on this line where it's a little uncomfortable, maybe a lot uncomfortable, but not so much that she feels she's got to move away. She's trying to avoid being present and feeling it and noticing it and connecting with me over here. And so I just want to hold it here and see if she can acknowledge that it's there. And really see if it's something that's dangerous. And if my intent is bad and I'm trying to hurt her, or if that's the story in her mind that's overriding the present moment. There's a little nervous tick. And there she came back to me just a little, moved her leg. Head came back around, still feeling really tense about it. And I step back and she acknowledges that, connects with me. Step back up, she bends into me just a little. Start going down that leg a little bit. Oh, too far. She said, "No, I gotta step away. You went too far." All right, can I try again? Right there. Where is it? Right here's. Right there's too far? Or not? It's tough. No, just the thought of moving down there is making you want to walk off. Where? Right here? Is this where you're putting me? It says anywhere but that shoulder. Because maybe Laura can save me from you. Alright, can we try it again? Can we try it again? Right, we'll start up here. Good. Okay. She says, oh, even right there, just start thinking about it. Good. And so she's able to take a big deep breath there and release a little. So I just go back up here where it's a little more comfortable. And as she's looking, I start heading back down. And there's a little further than we've been. Come back up. She says, yeah, I was there feeling it. I saw it. She says, I can't quite look at you in the moment while you're doing it yet. There's the breath a little bit. So what I'd really like to see is that she can really engage with it as it starts going down here. And I wonder if she's stiffening up, going somewhere else, checking out a little bit. Come back with a little pressure. And come right back to it. There she feels it. Gonna stay with her. She stops, looks at me. I'll release. Thank you. I know that's hard. Yeah, I know it's hard on this side, isn't it? Alright, try again. So there she breathes and bends into me a little, and I'll just come back out. Okay. And then I'll respond to one of her requests here. Yeah, I know. This is what you'd like to just do the whole time, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah. Okay, we did some of that. Can we come down here a little bit? We can. Okay. Okay. We come down here a little bit. No. So there I stay with her. He's able to look at me a little, so I'll release there. Alright, where can we go? To the knee? That's pretty good. And so there she's bending into me and attentive and expressive as I go down. And we go down just a little further that time. I come back up and she's here. Hi. I know that's what you're wanting. But you know, we're going to have to trim these feet one of these days. You got no big rocks to grind them down on your own. That's nice. Oh. Are you wanting to go see Cosmo over there? Up, Cosmo, up, up. He says, If I go up, she can get me. Hi. Are you coming back to try again? No? You gonna move away? So he's just giving me a little side look. Now Cosmo's coming up. You want to see Cosmo? All the way down. I'm sorry. You jerked a little bit. Kind of scared me a little. Alright, let's turn back around here and look at it again. Let's go just a little more. There you go. Okay. Get your weight shifted. There we go. Alright. Now probably after that scary part it's going to be back higher again, isn't it? So we'll just wait just a second. Good breath. Alright, try again. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, I know. You want to walk a little? Get some of that tension out. We're holding a little. It's a little windy today. You don't want to come over here? You can do it. Really getting out in front of me there. That's nicer. That was better. So I'd like to find a nice rhythmic walk together where she can feel relaxed and not pushing on me or tensing her ears. And so I'm going to ask for that. And when I notice that tension, I'll change the rhythm a little. Ask her to connect with that rhythm. She really likes to go to this place of wanting to control here. There you go. Shake some of that out. That's nice. Okay. And so one of the things I noticed that's driving a lot of this is her really wanting to avoid being the one on the outside while we're walking because she feels trapped against the fence in that way. And so just by the direction I go and the timing of when I turn and when I notice she's trying to get more control of that, I can move my body in a way that asks her to let me cross over on the inside here. There we go. She says, I might try to avoid that. There you go. And so when she makes the decision to walk over there, I'm just going to step back and give her just a little release from that and say, see, look, you're okay here. We do some more. Good. She says, I'd sure like to get over here where you've got to walk on the outside. You can protect me. So I'm going to start asking her, just by body positioning. And I feel like that's pretty big there. And so going in that other direction, she got to put her more non-dominant side to the outside. And so she tries more aggressively, we're going this direction because her dominant side's to the outside. She says, I want to avoid that. That doesn't feel nearly as safe. And so we'll start asking her by the way we turn. And you see just how hard she's avoiding that on this side. That really tells us those feelings, how much it matters in every moment for this horse in this space to be trapped and to have her dominant side exposed to the outside. And I'd say that's a shift because I think her main concern when we started all of this was having her dominant side exposed to me or to whoever was in here. But as we've built more of a relationship, that feels less scary than having it exposed to the outside. What if we walk at a further distance? She says, that's hard. It's a little easier in my safe space over here, but there we go. Yeah. So there was a few steps of her really trying it out. She needed more space between her and the fence. Can you turn back? Can you turn back into that? Not trying to get ahead of me so much. There you go. Whew. Yeah. So I can, by the way I move, ask her to turn her body one way or the other to put herself in that position. She says it's scary and I don't want to do it. And when you ask me to, I might threaten to bite at you. And so right there, just the way I asked her to turn now puts us in this position to walk together here. And she says, we'll do it about 2 steps and I'm going to change. And so this is where we can start playing with some detachment, even when we notice this kind of thing. Okay, you go. There you go. And so recognizing that all this controlling she's trying to do in attachment seems to mostly be driven by this piece of it a little bit. And so until we really help her start to feel okay, with this dominant side towards the outside, or even with the non-dominant side, with her being on the outside more, and so I might start staying a little closer to her as she moves around as opposed to more out in the middle, just so she can kind of feel that. And so just notice the space she's creating herself between her and the outside. And I haven't asked her to try it. This is her feeling anxious about this. I just want her to walk out in that space, not avoid it, connect with it on her dominant side. When I see her venture into those spaces, I just give her a little more room. Say, yeah, that's what we're looking for. And this is no surprise. She's shown us this stuff, but it's still affecting just our basic attachment, and so it's telling me, yeah, we got to work on that stuff more. Well, get some water if you want some water. Let's not use it as a trick to change directions. You can do it. Yep. There's a bit of a breath from her. Let's keep it going. You haven't really stepped into those vulnerable places. There you go. Now you're looking at that one as you pass by it. Step into it a little more. What about this corner? You going to look into that corner at all? A little bit. So that's good. That's what I want to see, is her start to engage with the scary stuff. The stuff that's so scary out there, it's affecting our relationship and how she attaches and how she tries to control in that attachment based on the fears that she has about walking on the outside, being trapped between me and the fence. And so this detachment, she's getting more space to do that. Nobody out in front of her, so if she needs to run away from whatever she thinks is there, she can. I'm not stopping her from that. I'm just encouraging her to step out into it and to connect with what's out there. So if she wants to stop and check out the camera, great. Yeah. We've done this a lot, haven't we? But you still need more of it, don't you? So I'm just slightly decreasing the space between us as we do this, as I feel she can tolerate it. Yeah, there's weeds in that gate. Good. So there's some green stuff over there I might want to try to eat now that I'm looking at it. Sure, there is. Just noticing as I step in closer how she starts to feel squeezed in some places. It speeds up. And if given more space, she says, yeah, I'd like to walk further away from that fence. And you know, a lot of people might say, well, then we just need a bigger space so that she feels like she's got more space to be comfortable. And that would make her feel better, probably. But what it doesn't help her build is the tolerance to be in a tight space and feel calm and connected and safe. And that becomes important as we think about other things we might do together. And so, you know, this is a good exercise that's going to help us with a lot of other things down the road. And it's going to affect our daily attachment. And this is a place where I get to really play with my awareness of where my core is and how it affects her as we're moving around here, because she does respond to that. If I get it too far out in front of her, she'll try to turn around as I squeeze her too tightly, or she'll try to speed up and squirt through like that. If I get it out way behind her, she says, oh, you don't want me to keep going, you want me to come in. Well, no, that's not it either. And so, just being aware of how even I turn my body here is something she's connected to, and she should be. And so then I try to find the place where we can walk together in that detachment. Where she understands I'd like her to keep moving, and then I'd like to come up beside her just a little closer. And how much of that she can tolerate. It obviously makes her feel uncomfortable. And that's why we see that in our attachment. She wants to avoid that at all costs. And so what I want her to start experiencing and understanding on some level is that it can be safe. There you go. So we've increased her tolerance for that a little, I'd say, and she's relaxed a little. And so I'm just going to move that pressure back to her rear, ask her to reattach. And see if that's changed anything. And she says, I still don't want to be on the outside. So I can see and should be able to feel every time she has the thought to disconnect from my movement and from what I'm asking, to just protect herself because she feels unsafe. And so I can just turn back and ask her to turn in a way that for a couple of seconds helps her experience walking out there. Good. Very nice. So here, let me go to the outside for you. And if you're going to do that, then you're going to have to go back to the outside. See? She says, I can handle that as long as it's on my non-dominant side a little bit. But when you turn this way and ask me to put my dominant side out there, when I give her more space, she's almost willing to think about it. And so it might seem like she's trying to block me from getting to her non-dominant side. And why would she try to block me? It's her non-dominant side. She shouldn't care as much. But what she's really trying to block me from is from having to expose her dominant side and walk on the outside with me on the inside, trapping her dominant side against the fence. And you see she's really, really invested in that. Oh. To the point that she wants to bite me to keep it from happening. And so I'll just ask her to detach and put her side out there to do the scary thing. To see that the biting behavior didn't get her away from it. It actually pushed her right into it. And it's not a punishment. And recognizing that higher energy is harder for her. Maybe asking her a little more than she's comfortable with. And so we need to work more on detachment. And so I'm really going to pay attention as she moves around to the places that she really shies away from. I'm really going to ask her to really step into those places. Like right here, she always wants to avoid right there. And you see her speed up and run by it as opposed to moving into it. Says, don't make me look at that place for some reason, whatever that place is there. I'd like to just keep avoiding it. And I'll run and buck and kick at you. to try to make that happen. Now that's okay. You can get to run and buck and kick at me. But I'm still going to ask that you find the courage to look into and move into that spot a little. There you go. See, whatever's there is absolutely ridiculously created in your mind. See, nothing's happening. No. Don't turn your other side to it. Let's keep moving. And so it's a lot in this work where I see there's places I haven't pushed her hard enough on kind of the fundamental level. And there's still places she's really avoiding getting comfortable with. And that's one of them. And it's very small. And I'm sure it's gotten smaller. But she still never really got comfortable going by there. And you see it. She kicks at me anytime I really ask her to step there. So I'm going to ask her to slow down. Think about it. Walk into it. No, not walk by it. And it seems to be, for whatever reason, this kind of green, viney patch of stuff right there. Okay. So she says, I'd like to run by it and then turn back around and go by it on my non-dominant side. And I'm just going to ask her to keep going around. And to slow down as she moves over there. And to think. And to look at it. That's a little better. Yeah, that was better. Okay. So there's a start to it. And just by the way I subtly move my body, she feels me making that request to step into it further, to slow down as she approaches it, to engage with it. And so it's really important that I'm here and present and attuned to how she's feeling my body in every step while she's out there. It can get real easy to just check out while she's moving if we're not connected to the reasons we're asking for it. Okay, let's go around again. I want to see her be able to move around there, see that spot coming up, slow down, move into it intentionally, looking at the thing that she's worried about. Because that's the only way she's going to figure out if that thing's really going to hurt her or not, or if there's really something terrible about that spot. And so she's getting closer to it, but she's still just bowing out at this nice walk, avoiding it just a little. And I don't care about her body getting closer to it. I want her mind to get closer to it as she goes over there. And so I'd like to see her acknowledge it, not just move her body into it. Avoiding it in her mind and still just moving her body into it isn't safe. And so I don't want her to develop that kind of a pattern. That's more what I want to see. Is that she can look at it, acknowledge it, say that bothers me. And not try to completely and totally avoid it. And so ask her to come back here. And I'll go over here first with you this time. Oh yeah. You're going to try to avoid it this way too, aren't you? And I'll just ask you not to do that. Look. Think those are vines that your feet are going to get caught in? What is it? See how my feet are strong enough just to kick through them? Yeah, yours are too. Can you step into them a little? There you go. Yeah. Good. And so that's what I want to see, is that she can try to engage with those things, and we still notice this pattern of her wanting to get out to control this attachment. So that's something I've really got to refocus on and work on with her. And this is just a little piece of that. And so what that's going to be is lots and lots of detachment work with her, so she starts to feel more secure. Developing this pathway in her brain that says, I can see and feel and experience something scary, and I can attempt to connect with it instead of just automatically avoiding it. Good. Good. All right. Now that we did all that, how's this feel? Not bad. Because this is the same pattern. She just wants to avoid this just like that. And so we're working on the same developmental things here. And if we can recognize that, then the work we do in one place should affect the work we do in another place. All right. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.